A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there from all over the world, all over the globe, to the fourth part of this channeling session, which is titled as We Will Share Our Story Together, Love, with One Another's Support. Now, this channeling session, this is a channel message of how I channel them is the guides, the masters of the 7 chakras, and a fully awakened divine feminine and the divine masculine as well. And I want to say something here today because I have to be honest. When I do the channeling sessions, my idea is to be honest and share my story. And if you look at the title of this channeling session, this says we will share our story together. In fact, it's not surprising because in this channeling session, the messages that are given by the masters and the guides is the same message, that we will share the story happily. We will share our truth with the world. All of you people who are on this ascension journey, you are here to share your truth. You are here to be authentic. The masters and the guides are saying that we will live this life together. They don't mention happiness and sorrow. I have mentioned that before because in my opinion and in my experience, life is full of good and bad experiences. That is something that keeps happening. And one should rise, beyond that, above that actually. One should not even bother about the type of experiences that come on your way. The real person who's on ascension journey is always neutral, always tries to see things with equanimity. And this is one thing that the divine feminine has to learn. Okay? And they say that we will talk about our truth. We will talk about our truth. We will sing it with the world. We will sing it. When you say sing it, it means we will happily share it like a tune with the world. Alright? And we will share our colors. We are different 7 colors. All chakras have 7 colors. But together we form a colorful union, a colorful story, a colorful communication. Now I have to say that there are some people who get very triggered with this piece of information. Even though they are coming here on this channeling on their own, because I'm not a postman. I don't go to people's houses. I don't ring their doorbell. I don't say, hey, here's a channeling. Please come and listen to it. I'm not even marketing my videos. I'm not paying for the views. I'm not doing anything of that sort. Still, there are some people, some women who claim to be on the ascension journey. They get very triggered by these channel messages. They get very angry. They get very annoyed, and they write these poisonous things to me, like don't send me your videos, like I'm going to their house and sending the videos. So these are the stupid people who have a problem with Ramayana. They have a problem with God, like Lord Shiva, Parvati's journey. They have a problem with Radha Krishna. They have a problem with Ramayana. How can someone have a problem with Ramayana? Now I'll also tell you one more thing. As a child, I remember very well, because this was like a question in my mind. Once my guru had said this in one of his discourses, in one of his sessions, that people who do not like Ramayana and who get triggered by Ramayana, who say mean things, abusive things, very wrong things, are the most unfortunate people on this planet. Most unfortunate people. Their misfortune is the worst form of misfortune. And I did not understand it at that point because I was still very young. And I was thinking that who can get triggered by Ramayana, or who would. But in my journey, I did meet some people who actually get very triggered. They get very angry, and one of them I remember was abusive. And today itself, some girl, wrote, I would not have deleted her messages because I know her comments, you would have seen it. And I know the community is such that you guys would have answered to her. But then when she wrote that, do not send me your videos to me, I have been telling you again and again, and this girl is the one who used to write long comments about, like, really long paragraphs about her twin flame journey, and she's telling me, she's writing to me that don't send me the videos. So I want to tell you all, if there is anyone like that, I don't want to focus on negativity, but I also have to be honest and authentic with every person who's here, because just imagine, this is what this channeling is all about. Be real, be you. Therefore, I have to say this, that no matter who says negative things, it's their problem, it's their perception. That will not make me stop doing my work. Because you have to understand that if I have been in this ascension journey since childhood, I must have encountered many people in different shapes, size, formats, in different styles, in different, even in my close circle, even if those who had access to me, who would have criticized me, who would have stopped me, who would have said, don't do this, don't do that, don't be yourself. And you know why I'm saying this here is because I know a lot of you also go through this. So if this is a channeling session and if anyone doesn't resonate with it, anyone doesn't understand with it, don't come here. And if you don't understand the twin flame journey, or if you don't understand ascension journey, or if you don't want to give yourself as a devotee, if you don't want to be devotional, if you don't want to be authentic, if you don't want to be real, if you don't want to be you and you get triggered by anyone who's trying to be real, then please don't come here. Please live in your life. Please do your own things. Do your own fantastic things. Why come here? Why research about twin flame journey? Why do you want to know about what the divine masculine thinks or says or does? Why? Being jealous of other women, being abusive towards other women actually shows that you're very, very low in the stage of, you're probably not even a twin flame. You're not even on the ascension journey if that is how you want to be. You gotta be a badass, and I have said this in many channeling sessions, because this is a reality of life. If you're too sweet, too nice, too innocent, too naive, too gullible, then it will be a very big problem for you in dealing with this world's people and situations. You will be taken for a ride many times. But if you're trying to be real, if you're trying to be honest and authentic, and other people come up to you and tell you, hey, don't do this because I don't like it, tell them to F off. Tell them to get lost. Tell them to just not show their face, because you're not going to them. Of course, if you go to other people and you request them and then you say, please listen to me, please talk to me, please give me time, then again you're doing the same thing that you do with the DMs. Please talk to me. I'm writing to you. I'm emailing you. I'm messaging you. If someone tells you, I don't want to talk to you, please don't message me. Please don't contact me. Or if they don't reply to you, even after sending 10 messages, they don't reply to you, then please do not go to them. Show some self-respect. Let them realize it. Let them realize that they have also disrespected someone and misbehaved with someone. That you cannot just be nice and lovey-dovey and cute and amazing and whatever, and then just tell the other person to get lost. If you cannot, have trust in love, or if you cannot have the knowledge, the know-how, the ability to manage emotions, then please don't blame others. And charity begins at home. So if charity begins at home, then we must do some charity to ourselves. We must first take care of our own situations. And in our closest situation, if you love someone and they constantly shun you away, ignore you, don't reply to you, don't treat you like you exist, keep ghosting you, then give them the gift of your absence. They deserve your absence. Why feel bad about it? If you are cheated, you get cheated on by someone, like someone cheats on you, okay? And you find out about it. Find out. I've been watching too much British comedies, I guess. So, if you find out about it, and you accept it, you're okay with it, then it will have an impact on the other person, that it's okay. It's okay to do this. they have to justify their actions. They have to justify why their genitals got entangled with another person's genitals. And then why do they come back here again? Are you a doormat? Are you always going to be available for these people, these types of people? So this is the reason why in the divine masculine's journey also, when they leave the divine feminine, and most of you don't realize it, but today in this channeling message, I have to tell you this. Because between all these channeling messages, when I take breaks, a lot of things happen. When you're on the ascension journey, every minute matters. You're so intense, you're so deep into things that every emotions comes to you with its full potential, full bloom. And you have to observe everything, and you have to still be real. If you feel at that level that it's not easy, then imagine other people who are doing a retrospection for this and even sharing it out to others. And this is not for sympathy, because there are, again I said, good and bad both. You just have to be neutral. You just have to rise above these things. You can use all of this, and this is not even paid. Like, I can genuinely do all of this in paid sessions. I can just simply relay, like so many other channelers, they do that. They just give out blah, 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 blah. That's it. And if you want to know this, then please contact me. Maybe in future, if I get tired of, these type of stupid people who don't understand anything, who don't appreciate what they're on, who are always blaming others for their own problems, for their own triggers, I might just say, yeah, okay, forget about it. But I obviously won't do that. And it's like, if something bad happens to you, you don't consider the whole world as bad. If you meet few bad apples, if you meet few bad people, doesn't mean that the whole basket of apples is bad. But then these people, these ungrateful people, they need to know this, that you can't come to places, you can't take things for free and then complain and then crib. So if you see any of these people, I request you, it's a request from my side, especially in this channeling, if you see, because I know in this channeling people are getting triggered. I have already received few messages. Some of them are like very grateful, I see that, and some are getting very triggered because they don't want to do the work. They want to have the free stuff. They want to have the easy things. They want to take the shortcuts. The moment they listen that there is a difficult journey ahead, there's a lot of work ahead, there are these 7 chakras that need to be unblocked. Okay, I have to do the mission. Oh, I thought twin flame relationship is all about singing and dancing and going on dates and drinking the champagne and having fun and having all this sex and intimacy with this hot, attractive guy that I found somewhere who's also this, who's also that. Oh, twin flame journey must be like a honeymoon that never ends. This is what you're looking for, then you're not even on a twin flame journey. Please go and read Mills and Boons. That will be better for people like you. And if you also find in this community, you find such people, you know these people. They just want to make other people negative. They just want to pull them down. Why do you come here? You're not going to get anything. You will waste your time and you will go even further behind. You will delay it all. And maybe other channelers won't say it in such a stern way, but I will. Because you're coming to my channeling sessions and you don't have any right to disrespect the gods I talk about, the journey I talk about, the ascension work I talk about. You have no right to do that. And you can genuinely get lost from here. And from the whole world, from the whole map of this twin flame journey, if you're getting, so affected by it. How can these people listen to 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour sessions and then say, oh, but this is so lame, this is so stupid? Do you even know what is mission work? Do you even know why you're here? Do you know what is the meaning of serving? Do you know why there are people on this planet who take it as a serious thing, that they do not want to be coming back again to planet Earth. They do not want to be trapped in the cycle of life and death. This is serious work for them. For some people, they really want to know who they are and why are they here. They don't take things on face value. They don't do what everybody else is doing. And if you don't understand it, go do some research work. I am not here to cast a love spell on people. The other day, there was another lady who wrote a long damn paragraph to me. And she's telling me to cast a spell on her divine masculine. Like, are you serious? Are you fucking serious? Is this what you think this is? Grow up. All of these people, all of these women grow up. This is not some kind of, fantasy park, some theme park, some waterland that you're here for, some picnic. It's not Tinder. It's not an application like that. This is serious twin flame ascension work. You don't want to do it, don't do it. Don't waste other people's time and your own time. And don't try to stop those people who are doing this for free. And I hate to say this, I hate to say this word, but this is not directed to good people, okay? You guys are also listening, I know. I love you all. You're amazing. I call you goddesses. If you go back, I won't call you goddesses if I don't mean it. This is for all of these people, all of these thankless people who are ruled by demon energies, who are ruled by negative energies. They get triggered and they always try to stop people. Whenever people want to do something real and authentic, they always try to stop them. And if you meet them in person, tell them the same thing, that go away. Don't you dare try to stop me. I'm going to be myself no matter what. So, on that note, on that lovely note, I want to say that this is the fourth part, this is the final part. And, all of this work that we do, all of this work is to become natural. Just to be like the trees, the flowers, the animals. Though we human beings say that we are above animals, and we are, because animals cannot do the work that we are doing. They cannot meditate. They cannot control their thoughts. If they have a cycle, then they have to comply with it. But with all this modern technology, like when I live with my street animals, I try to get them neutered. I try to get them operated so that they don't have all these problems of, giving birth to puppies, and then those puppies are dying because of hunger. Nobody's feeding them. Some of them are getting crushed under the car, and these mother bitches, they're crying, they're wailing. I have seen like very, very heart breaking scenes. I remember once there was a bitch and she had given some puppies, and one of the puppy died. And gradually all of them died, but first one of them died, and we buried it, and it was under the ground, and we thought it's okay now. The next day I saw that she had dug up that place, she pulled out the body, and all the other alive puppies were sleeping, and she kept it right next to all of them, just like as if it's alive. And these are the things I see, and I realize that animals have emotions, very strong emotions. It's just that we human beings don't realize it. We have become so blind and so inhuman that we want to torture animals. We want to kill animals for fun, for fur coats, for shoes, for leather bags, for purses, for perfumes. The worst thing you can do is put a dead animal on your body and then be arrogant about it, and then say that it comes with a label and it has a price on it. So we have to learn love. Not only loving the divine masculine is important. That's why you're on a mission. All of the divine feminines, they have a compassionate heart. They have a very nurturing heart. Some of them probably have their own children, but they don't see other people's children as other people's children. They don't do that. They don't differentiate. For them, everybody is same. And I, again, learned it from my own father, because my father was the same with other people's kids and us. He never had any demarcation. He would treat them the same way he would treat us. Be it giving them a scolding, an ass whooping, or getting them gifts, or getting them education, anything, he would be absolutely not the same with all of us. And he was very honest about his opinions. If he would meet a family who would over pamper their children, and they would be all about my son is so amazing, my daughter is so, he would really tell them on their face that no, he's not so talented. You better don't give him all this extra love, because that will spoil him further. He would really say that. So in this channeling session, all the sacral chakra guides are here, and this is a really huge deal. So if you're on the divine feminine journey, ascension journey, and if you get this channeling fully, it means you're really vibing with it. You're totally vibing with it, and you are being guided by, and your meditation is doing its work, its magic. Because why are we doing all this inner work? Why are we doing all this magical work? Why? Again, it's not for the romantic stuff. That is not even the idea. That is the reason why I talk about my gods and goddesses. This twin flame journey, it actually started from India. This is an Indian concept. Let me tell you that. In English, in Hindi, we call it Ardhanarishwar. What you call twin flame in English. It originated from India. And I'm not saying this because I'm proud of this fact, or this is like giving me some kind of arrogance. No. I'm half Nepalese. I have half Nepali blood and I have half Indian blood. So for the gods, we have this same common gods, because India and Nepal both follow Sanatan Dharam, which is Hinduism. So when I found out, and you won't even believe how I found out about twin flame concept. I wrote a book about love. I wrote a book about the finding your ultimate soulmate, the journey of finding your ultimate soulmate. The title is In the Name of Love, and love is spelled as LUUV. So when I was writing this book, and again I channeled this book. When I wrote this book, in 2009 and 10, that's when I found out about the whole twin flame concept. And at that time, it was not even available on internet. These things, and if you buy the book, if you go on the Kindle section, you will see the date of the first publish. It has been on Flipkart. It's sold out on Flipkart. And now I'm only selling the Kindle copies. I'm not doing the physical copies because I don't want to waste paper. I don't want to add on to whatever the environment is going through. It's best to have a Kindle copy or an ebook. So in my case, I found out about twin flames without Google searches, without all of these channeling messages. I had to really go through it. I had to really burn myself into the fire. I had to really suffer so much. Only then I had to be in a false twin relationship, and then finally I figured out what the F is going on with me. It's not been easy. Come on, it's not been easy. Don't think it's easy. If you think it's easy, then you can leave right away. You can end it right away. You don't have to do this. You can settle down with something that suits you, that you feel good about, and you can finish it off. You don't have to be in it. You still have free will. You still have the choice. You can still do it, man. You can continue with your life the way it is. Back then, not many people had written books about twin flame. Not many people had posted about twin flames. There were no coaches, no healers, nothing. There were no YouTube channels at that time on twin flame. But still I wrote that book, and I'm not going to take any credit for it, because trust me, we are just the device. We are just the vehicles. It's the universe. It's the supreme being. They choose whosoever they feel is worth choosing or could do the work. That's it. It's not even like, it's like some kind of a certificate that you should, or a medal that you should wear around you and become arrogant. The worst thing with a lot of seekers, with a lot of people on ascension journey, is superiority complex. So be very careful of this superiority complex. It can really take you back. And then you might be wondering that I did so much meditation, I sat for so long, I do it every day, but still I feel so, so bad about myself. There is this, everything feels so sick and I'm so unwell and I have these dark nights. That's because you have developed the superiority complex. And the superiority complex will bring in bad company. It will bring in people who will keep saying nice things to you. I mean, you will understand it. You will get it. So this superiority complex, that I am in a spiritual journey and I could be better than others because I am in ascension journey and I am a twin flame, because of course everyone can't be twin flame. It's not their cup of tea. Everyone can't be a volunteer on planet Earth. It's not easy. Look at the people who volunteered during World War I and II. They suffered so much for people like us. For people like us who would come later on. And the coming generation, there would be a lot of volunteers in the children. So a lot of you would be either raising children who are destitutes, because see, that's real nurturing. You have your own biological children, everyone is doing that. When you nurture those who don't have parents, who don't have nurturers, or who are having a really tough time in life, who need a sponsor, who need a caretaker, then you really understand. So a lot of you would be taking care of such children, such people, and they could be born anywhere around you. Some of them are very intelligent. Some of the kids I meet, I talk to them, I go like, wow, you are like really wise. Children are always wise, but if they get the right guidance, the right coaching, the right advice, the right wisdom, they can do wonders. They will grow up into becoming really good, sorted adults who will take care of planet Earth and all its beings. Rest is all up to everyone else. To each their own. Someone wrote to me today, to each their own. Who are you to talk about Ramayana? Who are you to... Come on, grow up. You can't be on this journey with this type of attitude. And that attitude will only cause you harm. It will not cause any harm to the person in front of you. They will move on. They will be like this. They will be different after 5 minutes. But you will keep squirming in those feelings, in those bad feelings. And what do we get when we squirm in bad feelings? Nothing. Nothing. Now, the purpose of this journey, this ascension journey, the actual purpose is to uplift others. When I talk about happiness or sorrow, there is a worldly happiness and sorrow. And now this part that I'm coming on, this is direct message from these benevolent beings. And I do channel ETs also. In fact, I have had extraterrestrial experiences, and I know that I'm attracting all of these people from different parts of the globe, from the planet, for a reason. Because there is this movement going on. There are many people who believe in extraterrestrial life, and there are some who have no idea about it. So if you have any of these experiences, if you do not feel, that's really good actually, congratulations. If you're seeing orbs around you, amazing. If you're seeing some extraterrestrial activities, amazing. If you're spotting someone, if you are, getting these, strange messages, amazing. Which you cannot perceive, obviously. There's nothing wrong in that. So this part is being told by these benevolent higher beings that they are saying that you and them together, we will spread happiness and upliftment in this planet. And this is not the worldly happiness. They're talking about the happiness, the inner happiness, the real happiness, the true happiness. So we will distribute this true happiness on planet Earth, and this is the real part. I know why this is genuine is because the next statement is that all the sorrow, all the problems, all the hardships, we will endure together like a team. Just imagine. Like happiness, we will spread together, and sorrows, difficulties, challenges, also we will endure together. Then why cry? Why cry? It's okay to have happy tears, it's okay to have forgiveness tears, it's okay to have all those tears, but it's not good to have tears that make you feel you're unworthy. So why cry? We are there for each other. We are each other's support. We are each other's support system. And we are a strong support system. We are always with you. You can always count on us. You can keep your head on our shoulder if you feel tired. Because they don't feel tired. They are looking for, they always want to help. I've noticed the angels and the guides, they're always ready to help. Always ready to help. Always. In fact, they're always waiting. They're always waiting that this person will ask out for me, call out for me or not. That's how amazing they are. That they are amazing beings. They're very, very amazing, loving beings. You just have to ask. You just have to ask and you genuinely receive it. And the next statement is that this is how we will keep walking. We will keep walking. So we will spread happiness together, and any challenge that will come, we will endure it together. It also means that we will find solutions together. It's not always you're enduring, you're born to endure. No. If you need a solution, if you need, you're stuck somewhere, they will help you out with that. Then don't cry. Don't cry. There is no need to cry. And each other's support. So they are also giving the divine feminine equal importance. Like, that is such a nice thing to do. They're not making her feel inferior. They're like, yeah, we'll take care of each other. This is also like a combined message with the DM. So the divine masculine also is a team player now. It's like he's fully there. Again, it's not necessary that it's a physical union or you're living under the same roof. You could be in a long-term relationship, long-distance relationship, long-term, of course. It's not just for planet Earth, it's beyond. So he could be in another city, he could be in another state, he could be over the phone with you, or he could be equally doing things with you. But he is there with you, and he is saying this along with the guides, along with the benevolent beings, along with those who handle the chakra system. They are really powerful entities, very powerful soul. So he has also reached to a level where he is putting a hand on your shoulder. Your DM is telling you, your divine masculine or the masculine energy. So for those people who are not with any physical person, for them also it's the energy that matters. So their feminine energies are so worked out, so unblocked, so fully healed, that their masculine energy is the masculine counterpart of their energy system, because now it is just there, the unity state is there, the singularity is there. So he is also there, and he's like, we will handle it all, babe, we will, together. And this is how we will walk ahead. We will spend the whole life like this, and we will share our truth. We will take stands. We will be authentic. We will be there for others, and we will keep spreading this color, this colorful approach, colorful ideology. We will spread one love. We will be who we are here to be. We will just be. On that note, I'm going to be ending this channeling now. I love you guys a lot, and I have a lot of respect for the amazing people who are doing this brilliant work. I normally don't, share these feelings that I shared today, but it's very important. It's very important. Trust me, I had to do it myself. There were people who were very close to me. They were so close to me. They had access to me. I took away their access after they tried to stop me when I was being authentic. I thought to myself, why don't they stop me when I'm wrong? Why don't they stop me if I'm doing something stupid? If I'm hurting another soul, or if I'm being materialistic or too greedy, why don't they stop me then? At that point in time, they tell me, be materialistic. Be this, be that. Earn this much money. Oh, I'm with you. I support you. But when you're trying to do something original, something spiritualistic, something which is, like not conforming to stupid shit, then they come and tell you, don't do it. Don't be yourself. Why? And that's when I took away the access, and I said, you don't deserve to be near me. You don't have the access. And this is not about running away. This is about creating boundaries, which is very important in the journey of being the real you. So Thank you so much. I love you all. One love and peace out.